The new Mario movie is going to bring characters and even game levels that you've always wanted to see on the big screen. But did you notice that some of them are hidden in the clues inside the trailer? Yoshi. All Mario fans were super upset when they found out the main game used as inspiration would be Mario Galaxy, mainly because everyone was expecting Yoshi to finally show up. But don't worry, because the most beloved dinosaur in gaming will be in the movie. We're explaining this because the truth is that Yoshi does not appear in the first Mario Galaxy game, but that's not how things will work in the films. In the post-credit scene of the first movie, we see Yoshi's egg among the remains of the New York battle. In other words, the Mario creators were already planning a movie where Yoshi appears, and besides that, the dinosaur is a character that shows up in the second Galaxy game, so it's pretty clear they're going to mix elements from both space-themed games. Yoshi will likely appear as someone who helps Mario move between planets, especially because his super high jump is the main reason he's always present in the plumber's adventures. So go ahead and celebrate, because you will absolutely see Yoshi on the big screen. But until then, we're going to show you 12 hidden characters in Mario Galaxy.
You know what's starting. It's another awesome Cinewave!
Wario. Everyone wants to know if Wario is going to appear in this movie, and many fans believe he won't, but our bet is that the anti-Mario will show up in the post-credit scene of this film. Mario's first movie already made it clear that each animation hints at what might happen in the next one, and Wario would be the perfect villain for a Mario 3 movie. That's because this villain was literally created to be an evil version of our hero, and if you doubt that, let us explain where his name comes from. Wario is a combination of the name of our protagonist and the Japanese word warui, which means evil. So Wario basically means evil Mario. This character is always looking for a way to get rich, and will probably appear at the end of the movie trying to steal the treasures from the Mushroom Kingdom. And let's remember that Bowser and the Koopa Army are still the main villains of the franchise, but the third movie needs something new. That's why it's more than obvious that Wario will be the next big threat. But what about you? What do you think? Daisy. Will Daisy really not appear in Mario Galaxy? Anyone who's a fan of this universe knows the Princess of Land is not originally a Galaxy character. But like we already explained, this movie will bring elements from other games as well. If you pay close attention to the trailer, you'll see a desert kingdom in the story, and that place looks a lot like ancient Egypt. Land is inspired by ancient pyramids, so it makes perfect sense to imagine Daisy might show up in the movie. But that's not all. There are other clues. In the trailer, Bowser Jr. uses a machine to attack Princess Rosalina and tells her she must go with him. But in the game, it's Princess Peach who gets kidnapped by the villain, and later we discover Bowser Jr. is searching for a mother, just like King Bowser was once looking for a wife. That means Bowser Jr. is attacking different kingdoms, searching for the perfect princess to be his mother, and one of them could very well be Daisy. Don't you think so? It would be the perfect reason to bring her into the movie, and every Mario fan agrees with that. Claudia Koopa. Now we're going to talk about a theory that has been blowing Mario fans' minds for years, and this theory involves Claudia Koopa. She would be Bowser's former wife and Bowser Jr.'s real mother, but it's important to make it clear that this villain does not exist in Nintendo's official universe. But wait, how is that possible? Since the Mario universe is loved all around the world, it's normal for fans to create theories and even unofficial characters, meaning characters not recognized by the creators. But the existence of Claudia Koopa serves to answer an important question inside Mario's universe. If Bowser Jr. is the son of the Koopa King, then it makes perfect sense for him to have a real mother who was never shown. If Jr. is looking for a mother, it also makes sense that Nintendo might reveal Bowser's former partner at some point. And of course, that would make the fans extremely happy. It's worth remembering that Claudia Koopa is a fan creation and not a Nintendo character. But if she appears, it would be a really awesome scene. Would you like to see Bowser Jr.'s family? Comment number Koopa so we can get to know you. King Toadstool is a character who could definitely show up in this movie, and he probably has more chances of being in Mario Galaxy than you imagine. For those who don't know, King Toadstool is Princess Peach's father in the old Mario comics. And of course, if Peach is a princess, there has to be a king who is her father. This character never appeared in any game of the franchise. He only exists in the comics, and he has a very innocent, almost childlike personality, constantly needing Mario's help to solve problems. But since the last movie made it clear that Peach is trying trying to discover her origins, it makes total sense for her parents to appear. And while no one knows who her mother is, the comics at least reveal who her father is. If King Toad shows up, this could create a connection between the movies and the Mario comics, and fans would absolutely love to see a scene of the two being reunited. Toadette. Toadette is also a character everyone is hoping to see in this movie. She is a female Toad that Nintendo players mostly know from Mario sports games, although she also appears in other titles like Mario Odyssey. Among all the Toads, it would be perfectly normal to imagine that a female one exists, and that's why we expect to see Toadette in this movie. And the excitement grows even more because in the games, she is one of Princess Daisy's best friends, meaning if Toadette appears, Daisy's chances go even higher. Toadette has a very close relationship with the main Toad from Mario's world, the one we met in the first movie, but it's important to make it clear that Nintendo has never shown the two as a romantic couple. If there is even a small chance for this movie to show Toad getting a girlfriend, then it would definitely be Toadette. And even though they're not the protagonists, everyone knows they're adorable and will steal our hearts. Who's ready to see Toadette's big screen debut? We definitely are. Luma Star, the co-star. Luma is a character who is most likely already confirmed for the next movie. Anyone who played Mario Galaxy 2 knows there's an orange Luma who is always by the side of our hero and his brother Luigi. She's a playable character and can help our heroes either as a guide or by fighting enemies. The orange co-star is very interesting for this movie because she has the ability to boost Mario's gameplay power, meaning she would be a very important companion when Mario has to face Bowser's generals. And since she's already a character everyone from the Galaxy franchise knows, it's very possible that the co-star really will be in the movie. But there is another option. Baby Luma. Baby Luma is a character who may appear in the movie before the co-star, because the Baby Luma shows up in Mario Galaxy 1, while the other one only appears in the second game. Baby Luma has just one main function in the game, giving Mario the power of the Star Spin, which lets him defeat enemies using that ability. And if you think Baby Luma's chances are small, let us remind you that in the very first Mario Galaxy trailer, there's a yellow Luma next to the movie's title, and that character looks a lot like Baby Luma. But there's also a third option. Mario Galaxy will follow Mario's adventure through space, but also Luigi's, so nothing stops the two brothers from having their own Luma companion, right? We'll see which one is chosen next year when the movie comes out. And if you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Click and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. King Boo. King Boo is the king of all ghosts, and in the Mario Galaxy game, there's an area completely filled with these monsters. Mario himself even transforms into a ghost so he can pass through some walls, and there he ends up facing King Boo. In the movie trailer, there's a scene inside Bowser's prison castle where we see a whiteboard showing an image that seems to be King Boo. On top of that, the painting Bowser is working on shows our hero in the shape of a skeleton. This could be proof that Mario will face something that comes from the world of the dead. And of course, we're talking about King Boo, right? And do you know why we're so sure it will be him? It's simple. In the first movie, Luigi went through a scene that was extremely scary, almost like a horror film. That's why Mario Galaxy should include a similar scene. That feels like a pretty big clue, don't you think? Professor Gadd. Professor Gadd is a character who will definitely appear in this movie, and we know that because the trailer itself gives the hint. Bowser Jr. is carrying a magic paintbrush that creates weapons, and anyone who knows the Mario universe recognizes that this brush is one of Professor Gadd's inventions. So that alone is already proof that the character exists in the movie universe. He's a brilliant scientist who helps Mario and loves hunting ghosts, including King Boo. Just by mentioning that, you can already see the theories lining up. Bowser Jr. stole the magic brush from Professor Gadd, and Mario will probably have a hard time facing that weapon. And of course, help from the scientist who created it might be very welcome, don't you think? We'll find out what role Professor Gadd will play once the movie hits theaters. Gooper Blooper. And you definitely want a lot of action in this movie, right? That's why we know Gooper Blooper is in it for Mario to fight. He's a giant squid from the same species as the bloopers. If you paid close attention to the scene where Princess Peach and Toad are crossing the water planet, you may have noticed several small bloopers swimming in the background. And that's a huge clue for the giant monster Mario will have to face at some point in the movie. Since this is an adventure based on a video game, our hero will need to go through a few mid-bosses before facing the final boss. boss. That's why we already know one of them will be Gooper Blooper, a huge and terrifying giant squid. King Caliente. But that's not all. King Caliente is another monster that either Mario or Luigi will have to fight in this movie. In the game, he's already one of the boss characters Mario has to defeat, and since we see a scene of the Plumber brothers riding bikes through a desert, it's very possible that this is where they'll encounter a lava squid who will do anything to stop our heroes from finding what they're looking for. Could there be an important weapon hidden underneath the desert sands? Of course there is, but that's a topic for another time. For now, what you can expect is King Caliente making his fiery debut on the big screen.
It's almost over, but until then, you can stay with us. There are 2 super fun videos waiting for you. Thanks, and see you next time.